highlight the great use of language. It's always good to begin with a positive note. This evening, I have heard many great good expressions. For instance, giving and receiving, caring and sharing, all ending in ing, which is good because it rhymes. That's alliteration. I've heard the phrase, there is no turning back the clock. The great use of a phrase which we all know means there is no going back to where we came from. I've heard the phrase, born with a silver spoon, which I'm sure many of you understand what it means. I like this sentence. If you are given an opportunity, grab it. Just 2 words. But it's powerful. Sometimes we want to say what we want to say in as few words as possible. Because if you have a very long sentence and you can cut the sentence out from 10 words to 4 words, do so. Because it is a very important way of making a point. I heard this word. Very interesting, mind-boggling topics. Mind-boggling. It's a good phrase to use. I'm sure if we use this often, we will be able to impress others, and perhaps they will come to Toastmasters to find out how it's done. I like the word mundane. Do you hear the word? Mundane. M-U-N-D-N-E. It was used twice by the speaker. The same mundane task of doing something over and over again. That explains what mundane is. Boring. Yeah. A mundane cycle. A cycle that repeats and repeats and repeats. And I heard this phrase. How do you want tomorrow to be, or how do you want to find tomorrow? Is it right? How do you want tomorrow to be, and how do you want to find tomorrow? A repetition of the same word to have effect. Of course, the speaker who presented the speech on FAT, F-A-T, used it as a metaphor. You know what's a metaphor? A metaphor is to take the word, instead of talking about the literal meaning, give another interpretation of the word. Fat doesn't mean fat as we all thought it was. Fat here means all those things in our system that we ought to get rid of. I thought that was a very interesting metaphor. The speaker who did it ought to be commended for it. Let's give it a hand. Because you talk about this word has more than 9 lines. At first I asked myself, this word has more than 9 lines. What did he mean? And then when you begin to present your topic, then I understood. Right? You're talking about fact. Has more than 9 lines. Excellent. There is another metaphor which was used, and that metaphor is very quickly. Let me highlight that. I think I got it here. But I think I'll come to it if I see it. All right. Now let me talk about some of the incorrect ways of language use. I heard many times speakers begin a sentence with, and now we come to the most interesting segment. And now is repetition. We come to the most interesting segment. And now it's not necessary. And also, we will have evaluation, and also it's also repetition. Do not begin with and now, and also, because I consider this pause fillers. Actually, I promise. What do I just say? I promise. It means the same thing. Right? So try, and the word basically should not be used. It's also a pause filler. I was not very sure whether, when you said, I was passing here, I was passing where? Passing here. They are using here as a noun. I was passing by the building. Right? I was passing by the road, or by the street. Right? So you cannot say, I was passing here. Right? Don't shy yourself. It's a it's an expression, but actually it means don't be shy. Right? Not to say don't shy yourself. It has taken me so long to be a success. It's taken me a long time to be a success. So long. And then after that, you don't begin with and then after that. Just proceed to what you meant. At the strike of midnight. What should it be? At the stroke of midnight. At the stroke of midnight. Very important to put in the correct word. We now proceed to the evaluation segment. I believe it should be we will now proceed to the evaluation segment. This is the word missing. We don't say we now proceed. Right? So some of these use of the correct words are important because it gives the language make it more correct. Let me just concentrate on pronunciation. Phenomenon. I think that was a good word pronounced correctly. Phenomenon. Procrastination. Remember, every symbol must procrastination. Priorities. Priorities. So be careful when these words, when you use these words, please make sure that they are done well. In my introduction, I started with the conclusion. Isn't that beautiful? Someone said, in my introduction, I started with the conclusion. Right? Opposites. When you talk about someone speaking, you should say, you speak with great passion. You spoke with great passion. Because it's past tense. Right? So remember to use the past tense. You were very forceful. Right? You were very forceful. Very important. I thought this evening we should have more quotations. We could have more metaphors. We could have more idioms. You know what idioms are? Right? Try in your presentation to use these expressions in your speech because it will make your speech more memorable. Let me just test you with one sentence. What is wrong with this sentence? There are more sitting at the rear. This came from an article in section 2 of the Straits Times. I don't know how many of you read this article. There were 5 sentences, the 5 signs in the MRT station which were wrong. This was the sign. There are more